Hello Sagittarius, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning in to the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through for Sagittarians, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Cross watchers are always welcome. I'm doing a bonus reading for you since your viewership was so high on the monthly reading. So I'm shooting you out some more readings, Sagittarius. Thank you. What's hidden from Sagittarius? Thank you. Outcome and advice. Beautiful. Alrighty. The overall energy of your reading today, Sagittarius, is the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Four of Wands coming out as a challenge to that energy. All right, Ace of Swords in reverse is a foundational lie, a lack of truth, Four of Wands is oftentimes the marriage card, commitment, 1111, because the Four Wands create the 1111 image, it's like a portal crossing some line, commitment to more joy, more happiness, more celebration. So there was a foundational lie. It feels like around a wedding, around a marriage. What's the foundational lie? Ace of Swords in reverse. Empress in reverse, and then the Hermit. The foundational lie it feels like there's this mother wound, a feminine wound here. Feels like the lie, you're operating in good faith, Sagittarius, to a wedding, committing your life to someone else's, but it feels like you were deceived. There's a deception here, and so instead of this being happiness and joy and creating celebration, it feels like you've committed yourself to somebody who's really in their mother wound, in their toxic feminine energy. And it feels like from inside this connection, this relationship, after the commitment ceremony, after the wedding, that they change. There's some, and it feels like that's when the lie is being seen, the deception. It feels like you're very alone inside this connection. You might as well be alone. This isn't a partnership. And it feels like there was a bait and switch. There we go. That someone told you what you wanted to hear to get you to that wedding ceremony, commitment ceremony. They never had any intentions of following their vows or whatever they said. It feels like they're just saying whatever they need to say, whatever lies to get you to that, to commit to them. Feels like there's a shift. And like they're letting their mask down after the ceremony, sometime quickly thereafter. Now you're in the relationship that they're wanting. Now so this feels like they're very masked, juggling you. Now it feels like after the wedding ceremony, they don't have to be as masked. They can just be their miserable self. I think that's what they were hiding, that they're not upright. They're not operating with integrity in good faith. This is someone who's couldn't wait to get to this commitment ceremony, because now once they've got you hooked in, then they can be themselves. They can show you closer to who they really are, which is very manipulative, uncaring, with Empress in reverse, uncaring, unloving. You feel alone, confused inside this marriage. This isn't what you wanted. It feels like you're trying to make this work, trying to understand this, because you came in good faith. And it feels like you might be, Sagittarius, a bit of a sweetheart, Queen of Cups. You're operating from good faith and how you would operate. So you're being very understanding to this person, giving them a lot of benefit of the doubt, making excuses for them. This feels like this starts a period of your life very unhappy. It feels like now this person is positioning themselves that you need to center. They get to decide. They get to make the decisions. And you have to work really hard to get their approval. So they're positioning after the wedding. It feels like they stop hiding the toxic aspects of them so much and start showing you who you really are in a relationship with. Someone very uncaring. And it feels like you are very caring and very loving and nurturing. And so you're giving them the benefit of the doubt. You're doing all the things because it feels like you really care about this person in this relationship. But they're not operating above board. And so what they're setting into motion is you decentering yourself and centering them, and you working very hard to get them to care about you, to chase them, to fix things. It feels like this person just taking advantage of you, treating you like an option after the marriage, after the wedding. This feels like a player. This person never intended, foundational lies, never intended to create the relationship they said they wanted with you. Oh, wow. Whew. You were both working, you thought, on creating happily ever after, choosing to be happy, but instead you got a painful 10 of Swords instead of 10 of Cups. Betrayal, death by 1,000 cuts. Thinks it took you a long time to realize that this is who they are, that you're not making excuses. It's a one-off. Maybe they're under pressure. They've got some issues. We'll just let this slide. But that is the relationship, 5 of Swords. They want to win at any cost. Instead of a partnership, you're in a relationship that's 5 of Swords. Uncaring. This person just wants to win, and they want you to be less than. They need you to be less than. They need you to be in your place. This feels very closed, behind closed doors, covert, that this person changed their colors, their spots, changed who they are, And it feels like you're trying to make the best. You're trying to make this work because you really think that this is your happily ever after person. But instead you just keep getting hurt because there's no care here for you. This is someone who wants to treat you like an option and wants to have their life the way they want it, take advantage of your kindness and of maybe a little delulu. Maybe you're like, I need this happily ever after so badly that you're not really being able to see the reality of the situation, that this is the relationship they wanted. They want to have you close to them and treat you poorly, whittle you down. That's what partnership is to this person, to have someone close to them that they can unload on behind closed doors, that they can keep their lies hidden. This is a very miserable person, very deceptive, cruel, emotionally manipulative. Whew. All right, Sagittarius. In what's hidden, we have the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. That's the second time the Knight of Wands has shown up. Following your excitement, world building type of energy here. Following your interest. Yeah, Page of Wands clarified by the Page of Wands. Sagittarius, this feels like your energy, that you have the energy of world building in you, in you, within you. This fire. This person has not been able to put out your spark, for sure. It looks like there's a lot of things that you're interested in. What is it that Sagittarius needs to know about this Page of Wands energy? Six of Cups. You've got this inner spark, this inner fire, inner desire, and it feels like you might have lost that a bit in this relationship. It feels like you got away from what turns you on, Sagittarius, what lights you up, what excites you about life. It feels like before this relationship, you were following your highest excitement, building your own world, having a lot of success. And then this relationship came along, and it feels like you decentered yourself and your passions, your desires, and because you wanted this to be your happily ever after, and it feels like you just focused, got rid of everything else, decentered your needs, your wants, your excitement, your desires. And it's like you're focusing all your energy on this relationship and this person. You're pouring your energy, your fire into this person. And they're not pouring anything back. What you're getting in return is pain, painful communication, a lack of care. It even feels like you're to blame. But yeah, I think this is not successful. I also get that this person in this relationship that I've been tuning into is insecure, wildly insecure. And your confidence, your spark, your light, that's really what they want. They're envious of your spark, your ability to But that's your light. That's for you. It feels like they're in a competition with you. They want your spark. They want... Ew. Instead of being a partnership, it's like they're secretly jealous of you, and so they're just whittling away at you, just poking at you, just prodding at you, just that's wrong with you, and that's because they're really envious. They don't have that fire, that spark. This feels like a family issue. I get the feeling that their family of origin, whoever this is I've been reading, that this is kind of what their family does. Manipulate, deceive. There's something about the partnerships that would help it give you an idea of what to expect. Yeah, this is someone allergic to maturing emotionally. They want you to do all the labor, all the work, and they don't want to have to do anything. They don't want to be responsible for anything. This is not a partnership. This is someone who wants to dominate. They need to be right. They're in their ego. Oh, they're looking for a mommy with the Empress in reverse, the mother wound. They want you, Sagittarius, to tell them how, just fluff their ego. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You do nothing wrong. I can't see one thing. So you're not allowed to criticize them at all or anything honest, real reflections. They just want you to constantly tell them how wonderful they are and that they can make no mistakes and they're wonderful. They want you to be an enabler. They're demanding you enable them. They don't want to mature. They don't want to grow. And they want you to do all the work. This also, this type of energy is not sexy. Someone who doesn't make you feel safe. Someone who's demanding that their needs be met. It feels like this is the type of environment that over time your desire for this person dwindles. If lack of safety, one, if you can't even be made to feel safe, it's really hard to be intimate. And if they're positioning you as being their mommy, that's the wrong vibe. That's not sexy. That's loving energy, but that's not sexy time. And so if the sex dwindled, if your desire for this person just dwindled, it's like your body was informing you this person's not even safe. Feels like the longer you're in this relationship, the longer you lose yourself to this. Okay, tell me more about... For some of you, there's third parties. You will not be finding it out here online. It feels like there's emotional attachments and it's hard to walk away from. Because you put in so much energy, time to try to make this work. You thought this is your happily ever after. So it's hard to just walk away from that. Ooh, 9 of Pentacles wanting to come out. It feels like your freedom, your independence is very possible. But from inside, it feels such a faraway energy. All right, let's move on, Sagittarius, to outcome and advice. We've got Justice in reverse and King of Pentacles. Yeah, this person creates injustices. They don't care about balanced and fairness. They want to win. This feels very isolating as well. It feels like your world gets smaller and smaller as you center someone else in your experience. It feels like everything else is disappearing and you're just focusing on this needing to make this work. Tell me more about the Justice reversed energy in the outcome. Anything that Sagittarius needs to know? Wow. Justice reverse, Emperor reverse. A lot of injustices. A lot of doubles coming out. Double Page of Wands, clarifying Page of Wands. Now Justice reverse, clarified by Justice reverse. You can't get any justice in this environment from this person who... Oh, we've got mother wound and father wound. It feels like this person might be operating from their father wound, like maybe literally like their father does. And they're wanting you to be their mommy. And it does feel like this person is acting like dad, dear old toxic dad, dear old delusional, injustice, controlling, manipulative dad. This person wants to win at any cost. Yeah, the challenge is to go no contact and heal from this energy. You can't change them. If you're trying to, it's like you're trying to bake a cake and you've got all the wrong ingredients. You have the right recipe. You can create what you're wanting to create, Sagittarius, but not with these ingredients, not with this person. And it feels like you've been trying to make this work, trying to put these ingredients together in different ways. If you could make it work, you would have made it work. It feels like there's just been such a focus on this. It feels very disappointing because you've put all your energy and your time and your care into someone. And if this is true, that this person has created foundational lies, they never intended to make good on their promises. They wanted you to uphold your vows. This person is very toxic. No contact would... They're not going to change. Wildly insecure. Some of you are like, well, is there someone else? Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. There are plenty of other options. It feels like before you choose someone else, taking some time to heal from this relationship, to heal yourself. Otherwise, you jump right into another relationship in the same vibration, the same frequency, without taking a pause and seeing what made you susceptible for this. What made you a match for this? Healing that. And then moving on to relationships. Not jumping right. If you're jumping in like I need someone, then where's that coming from? You know? And when you need someone, then that person takes advantage of your needs. If you need to be in a relationship, then someone is going to take advantage of that. You don't want to be alone, so I can treat you any way I want to treat you because you're going to work really hard to make this work and stay and tolerate a lot of really crappy behavior. Anything more about the King of Pentacles? Wow. Magician's Son. You can create what you want. A lot of happiness, a lot of clarity, abundance. There are other choices. First, I would choose yourself. Create happiness. Keep pointing in the direction of clarity, of truth, freedom, happiness. And to get out of this, you have to make different choices. You have to choose yourself. Stop choosing this person. Stop choosing injustices. All right. I hope that's helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Take care, Sagittarius.